everybody, welcome back to Blue Clouds TV. It's flight number 124 airborne. Like I used to say, you're all welcome on board. Today it's a different topic altogether. One of our greatest rivals has fallen down deeply to the ground. They're trying to find a ways to rise again. Today's show is all about Manchester United, the Glazers, the coach, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the coaching department, and the playing body. Who is at fault? Who is to be blamed? The hierarchy of Manchester United, which is the Glazers that have taken care of this football club of Manchester United for some time now. We always see the club going down and down and down with all the signings that they've made. A lot of people are pointing fingers at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Other people also pointing fingers at the Glazers. I don't know who you are pointing fingers at. If it's the first time watching Blue Clouds TV, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also share the video to every platform that you find yourself. We're going deeply and deeply into what we think. Who do we have to blame? And what's the way forward in the future for Manchester United? Today, I have with me a wonderful, renowned, strong supporter of Manchester United, and he's here with me. We're gonna go deeply into it. I want him to, I want to know his opinion and how he feel about his beloved Manchester United Football Club. We will talk about the just weekend game against two great rivals, which is Manchester United and Liverpool. We will deep into that and also continue with the sack of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Does he deserve to be sacked, or does he deserve to stay in the club for a couple more weeks or more months to see if he can move the club forward? Here we are. No one else but Helbert. How you doing, Helbert?
Oh, not really good, mate, because lots of things have gone down the past a couple of days. Especially first of all, like I can't even begin to like accept the fact that we lost 5-0 to Liverpool. That's a different fact, but the fact that this guy is still here, this manager is still here, and we are not have taken a decision yet, just shows how incompetent and how useless our boards are. Like, they don't care about this club at all. They are busy buying an IPL team. They have no interest of winning trophies. As I said again and again, if you want to be successful, you have to see what other clubs are doing, how they are working. You have no shortcut to success, right? If Lampard is not performing, he's been booted out of Chelsea, and you're winning the Champions League in 4 months, right? So
Right.
that's how you have to be. That's the model of success, right? But we are doing completely the opposite. We have to do completely opposite. That's why there is no trophies for us to show since 2018.
Absolutely, I agree with you, and I know I could tell deeply in your voice and how you feel about your football club. But then we're gonna start from just the weekend game. We're gonna go spend about 5 minutes and wrap up of your opinion about what you think these two rivalry. Liverpool always, I think, in the race for champions. I mean, the trophy, um, Premier League trophy all the time. Why the number of goals conceded? Can you tell me what happened in the game?
I think first of all, we have to acknowledge the fact that Liverpool don't consider us as rivals. We are not rivals for them. We might think that we are rivals to them, but that's not the case. They have won a Champions League and a Premier League. They have one of the best managers in the world. So they don't really take us seriously. It's the new thing is the Manchester City and the Liverpool rivalry. That's the rivalry for them, and even Chelsea, you can say. Okay, United don't even consider, like, they don't fall into this perspective. And about the 5 goals you said, it's about coaching, mate. It's all about coaching. If you don't coach a team, right? If you don't have a system in place, you cannot win football matches. Just look at the first goal, right? Bruno is
Right.
pressing Van Dijk, right? McTominay is coming into midfield, whereas there is no one, and they just bypass our press with like so much ease. Like, there is no planning, there is no rhythmic. When I see Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City, I see a pattern, I see a coaching, I see hands-on. work being done on that in these three teams. I don't see that at all at United. It's everything, every player for himself. Think what you can do. It's so much improvisation and individual brilliance. That's summed up United in a nutshell. And that's why we are 4-0 down at half time. Half time, 4-0 down. I don't think that's been done by any team at United since history. This guy has broken every single record. He spent the most amount of money. He's conceded the most amount of goals. He has the worst Champions League record of any other manager, and yet he's been given Varane, Sancho, and Ronaldo in the window. Just like, I mean, as a rival fan, I'll ask you, right?
Yeah.
Even as a rival fan, if you are sitting in the United board and you are a sensible person, wouldn't you kick this guy out of the job next day? Just imagine, like, this guy has spent close to half a billion, 420 million to be exact, right? And he has won nothing. We have won Carabao Cups and FA Cups and Europa Leagues with Fellaini in the midfield. This guy has Ronaldo, Sancho, Greenwood, Rashford, so many options to choose from. Yet he has no system, no style of play. Like when I see, like, let's take Chelsea for example. When I see Chelsea, I see an approach, how they are approaching to a game, how they are approaching towards scoring a goal, right? I do not see that at United over the 3 years. It's not just about Liverpool, right? It's not these 5 goals. I've seen this since this guy has come in, except for those first 6 months where everything was in the honeymoon period. After that, completely nothing.
I agree. I agree with you from what you just said. From watching you Manchester United play, you can't really see the pattern of play. You can't really tell what they are doing. Even me over here watching Norwich City play football, I can tell that they have a style of play. Even watching Leeds United that are even struggling in the Premier League, you could tell the style of play, and it is true. You cannot tell what United are doing. Either United is playing out from the back, or either United is playing on the counter. You can't really tell. It's individual momentarily when somebody has to do something. Everybody has to rely on Cristiano Ronaldo. One more question I'm gonna ask you: do you see the inclusion of Cristiano Ronaldo to be the downfall of Manchester United? Is it gonna be Cristiano Ronaldo? Is it gonna be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Who listens to the master? Does apprentice listen to the master, or does a master have to listen to the apprentice? What's your take on this?
I don't think he is the downfall of United. I wouldn't say that, but I will say with him being in the team, we have to play a certain style of football which caters to him. Like all the other 10 players have to be playing for him because he's not like a Martial or like a Ivan Tony or like, how should I say, not even like a Lukaku. Like he's not at all involved in the build-up play. He's a goal hanger. He's a penalty box striker. Maybe 1 or 2 times he'll score outside the penalty box, but more importantly, he is a goal scorer. He's not a someone you can build around the attack with. So the other 11 players, other 10 players have to play for him, right? So your two wingers have to be very creative. One has to be a Sancho or someone like a Martial. If you put Greenwood and Rashford, all three of them want to score goals. So who is creating for whom, right? So that's why there are so many individual brilliant goals which are happening. So I wouldn't say he's a downfall of United, but if we have a proper system, if you're starting Ronaldo, you have to have Sancho on the left wing or the right wing, and one on the other wing, you have to have a Martial, someone like that, right? Because
And,
those two players have to create chances for
right.
him.
And
He's not the Ronaldo of 2008, right? We know because just here's a fact: since Ronaldo has come in, Greenwood goals has gone down. Every other team has gone down. Goals have gone down.
right.
Other players' goals have gone down. He is only scoring. So that just shows. Like I read a stat, like Mason Mount scored hat trick, right? That's the ninth different player who has scored for Chelsea. That just shows that you have goals all around the pitch.
So why is he not using Sancho? Even when he's healthy,
Yeah.
he's much fit. He's still not using him. Why?
That's a very simple. The simple answer is he does not understand the player because Sancho is not a pace merchant, right? He's not someone who's going to run behind defense. He's not a Rashford, right? So our whole style of play is structured around counter attack. And what is counter attack? It is basically hitting the other team at pace, right?
Yeah.
And that's what players like Rashford, Dan James, all these pacey players who don't have any technical ability, right? Or should I say just minimum technical ability? These are the kind of players who thrive in this kind of system, right? It's not even a system. Counter-attacking is not a style of play, right? It's the phase of play, right? You cannot practice for a counter system. You can't coach counter-attack, right? You can have small drills, but it is very improvised. So you're coming to your question why he can't play Sancho because Sancho is a ball to feed player. He needs people around him. He needs a Martial, Rashford, players like that who can give and go, make 1-on-2s, like 2v1s. That's how he played at Dortmund, right? He had Hakimi on him on the right hand side. Now he has Wan-Bissaka, and Wan-Bissaka can't do anything on the ball. That's the biggest problem, right? We are putting players, we are making combinations around players who don't have the same style of play.
So
That's why Sancho is not working.
so that means from everything you just said, sum up to tactical imbalance. Is that what it is?
Exactly.
Thank
Exactly.
you.
Tactical imbalance and not able to understand the player. He just thinks that how Sancho had 20 GA since 3 seasons in Bundesliga, he's going to copy that into the Premier League. That's not how it's going to work. You have to coach a player. He's only 20, 21. You have to coach him as well.
I agree with you. I agree, my brother. We're gonna move on from the game. Now we're gonna move on to Ole Gunnar himself as a coach. Manchester United are trying hard to find a coach. Where does it leave
Mhm.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer right now? Do you, in your own
Well, the
in your perspective, will you allow Ole Gunnar to continue to probably to January, or will you expect to see either Antonio Conte or Zidane?
Well, the latest news is that Sir Alex has vouched for him. I don't know why Sir Alex is involved in all these kinds of decisions. He should not be in the boardroom at all. He's a retired man. He's an old man. He's an aged man who just came back from I think it was some brain cancer or something like that. He came from, and he should not be anywhere near the football, administration part of it. He just should enjoy the game. Right now, it's not enjoyment. He just should come to the game and watch it and go back home. But this guy is vouching for him. He's said that give him another chance. At the moment, that's the latest news. And coming about to search for the managers, I think Zidane has said that he does not want to take a team mid-season. So I don't think Zidane is going to come. About Conte will come, but again, Conte, you as you know, like Chelsea fans know that for Conte to come, he has his own certain set of rules which the club should follow. Right? He wants this kind of money, he wants that kind of players, he wants this kind of authority, and United is not like that, right? We don't give so much powers to our manager. That's why we have a puppet in Ole Gunnar. So it's very difficult. I think United didn't expect that such kind of situation will arise in the mid-season by what is it, October? We have lost the league by October. We should have been supposed to be challenging for the league. So it's very difficult. I don't think United have planned this. It's come up like it's a shock to every one of us. So I think it's going to take time. I think they want what their plan right now is to wait for the international break to come and then to sack him so that everyone forgets the Liverpool, demolition and maybe find a manager in that time. That's the what I can say right now.
Look at talking about managers. There is two managers that are in contention for this position. From my perspective and what I've read, it is between Antonio Conte and Zinedine Zidane. Zidane from I mean the reference in the past. Zidane is the kind of player that fancy the English football, that fancy the style of the English game. He never even
Yeah.
wished to play in England, more or less for him to coach at all. I think Zidane is waiting to get back to the PSG game, the PSG team, or even the national team if the chance comes
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
him. I think when he's Zidane, if you guys have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
go, if United have to employ Zidane, it will be very difficult for him. One language barrier. Zidane doesn't speak English, and it will be very difficult for him. I don't know how fast he can learn the language, but then it will be another problem for Manchester United. One, secondly, then that gives the chance for another one, which is Eric Tihad and also Antonio Conte. With Eric Tihad from Ayers, I heard that he is comfortable and he wants to be with Ayers and continue his job. That leaves Antonio Conte over
Yeah. Yeah.
there. With Conte, we all know the demand that Antonio Conte carries with him. What do you think of Antonio Conte if he has to be employed as United coach?
I think this is a question I would like more to ask to you because you guys have already,
Yeah.
experienced him. So I'll come back and ask that question. But look, Eric Ten Hag, I don't think he's going to come because he's very comfortable at Ajax, as you just said. And also, he's someone like Zidane. He likes a proper structured team. He does not want to come into United because, we are very unstructured. And I think Eric Ten Hag is waiting for the Man City job. It's a perfect place to go. They are a bit more like, I won't say they're like Ajax, but they have a very
Oh,
good
are
structured
you talking
season and
about
all.
Newcastle or Man City job? Newcastle job or Man City job?
I'm saying Man City, Man City. Eric Ten Hag, Ajax to Man City. It could happen in the future if Pep leaves.
Okay.
So that's my predictions. But anyways, that's for those guys. But about United, look, I will take Antonio Conte because with Conte, he's a 2 years manager at max, or at max 3 years, right? and we have a team which is ready to win for the now. We have Ronaldo at 36, Varane at 28, Pogba who is in his prime, Bruno in his prime. So lots of players, lots of good players in our team. Rashford, Martial coming into their prime. So Antonio Conte will at least guarantee us challenging. He'll get us challenging from day one if we can't Zidane. So I would like Antonio Conte. Yes, he plays a back three. It is kind of not very United-y, should I say? Like we have never played a back three at Old Trafford. So that's where I would like to ask you a question. Like obviously you guys won the league with him.
Yeah.
So and he made Victor Moses look like Danny Alves, right? And like how was your experience under Antonio Conte, and what
Well,
if,
yeah.
like what would you tell you to a United fan?
To me, I'll tell United fans to go for Antonio Conte, if only because one, there are disadvantage and advantage. I mean, of what Antonio Conte bring to every football club. He is authoritative, but the authoritative that he brings to your club are positivity. There's so many positivity behind it.
Yeah,
He he wants to run the club his way. There are certain crop of players that he wants to bring in to play his football. That suits his style of football. So if Manchester United have to get Antonio Conte, there are certain precedent and then certain demands that he comes with. He need money to buy those players that will help him play. Luckily, you guys have a lot of players that can play Antonio Conte style. Bailly is one of them that can play Antonio Conte football. He plays back three. If you have Bailly and you have Maguire and you have Varane, back three, you guys are secured for back three. Then you can think of your wing back, left wing back, which will be very good for Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is very good on the ball with crossings and stuff like that. You guys are secure if you have Antonio Conte. But one thing, he's not a yes man. He's not going to be a yes man for the Glazers.
exactly.
And the Glazers do not want that. That is why they're still holding on to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So that is Antonio Conte.
Exactly.
The reason
Which
why
makes me want him even more.
Mhm.
Yeah.
the reason why Chelsea
I'm just yeah.
the reason
Continue.
why Chelsea fall out with Antonio Conte, it was the decision making for Marina Gunnar at that time. He was at that time when Conte was with Chelsea, he wanted Lukaku, which at that time, if Marina and the hierarchy of Chelsea have listened to Antonio Conte, we would have had Lukaku at a cheaper price at that time. You get what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That's where the fallout came. But besides that, Antonio Conte is a very good coach. We've seen his pedigree and then his
So,
CV.
mhm.
Yeah, you can take
So
over.
would you say that he wasn't sacked at Chelsea? He chose to like resign. Would you say that?
Yeah, he wasn't really sacked. He did not get what he was wishing for, so he decided to take the just leave the club.
Exactly. I think what I love most about Conte is that he is 24/7 on the pitch. Like he's shouting, he's a very passionate person. Obviously, he's an Italian. They all are passionate. And that's what
Yeah,
I like. I don't want a manager to be sitting in the, chair and, just doing things. So that's was something which I very much like. And under Conte, I remember it was a FA Cup game, if I'm not wrong. United, we just couldn't beat your defense, right? He was so solid. I
right.
remember Falcao was playing for us at that time, and you guys were very, very good at that time. So I remember. So he made quite a few, average players look very good in that Chelsea 3-5-2 system.
Like Moses.
So yeah, like Moses, exactly. So I'll be excited for Conte because he guarantees at least a challenge, if not a trophy. You can say he's a bit of a Mourinho kind of guy,
Yeah,
but he is very passionate. It's Antonio Conte is not, like Antonio Conte FC. He is a good person actually because with Mourinho, he always likes spotlight. So I'll be more than happy to have Conte, even though the back three is not something I am able to digest it further now because I have never seen United play a back three in all my life. So maybe within time I could adjust to the idea because obviously you want to win trophies. Who cares what formation you're playing?
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna stay in that section. So now, one more thing. Does the involvement of Sir Alex Ferguson in the football club, as earlier you said something about Sir Alex Ferguson, you don't want him. Is it being positivity? Is it bring good vibes, positivity to the club, or you don't want Sir Alex Ferguson involvement in the club as of now? to just
I
leave the
don't
club?
want
Go ahead.
No, no, yeah, yeah. I don't want him in any kind of administrative or decision making or influencing role because every time, like, look, whenever United are playing a game at Old Trafford, there is at least 5 or 10 seconds of the game when the camera pans out to Sir Alex and the commentator, says, "Oh, that's a manager who was successful 26 years back, right? Within 26 years." So look, I just want to move past Sir Alex, right? This Sir Alex thing is good. Okay, everyone wants to remember us, but we are not moving past that stage. That's why we haven't even challenged for a Premier League since 2013, right? The last time we won it under Van Persie's immaculate season. Since then, we have not even put a challenge. In that time, I think Chelsea have won twice, right?
Yeah,
So I am okay with Sir Alex being there at the games and everything and all that. That's his personal choice, but I don't want him in any kind of influencing role. He should enjoy his retirement. Don't Why is a manager, an ex-manager vouching for a current manager? It's like kind of scene when how should I, like a teacher is called your son for today and your father is backing you, right? That
yeah.
should not be the case. So I don't want him in any kind of role which he can, make decisions. Enjoy his retirement, man.
So you mean you don't want his involvement in the day-to-day activities of the
No, I
football club?
don't.
You want him to leave it to Ole Gunnar
Exactly, I
Solskjaer
don't want
to
him.
take over?
Not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but to some new manager. Like I don't want Antonio Conte, Sir Alex coming into training grounds and trying to talk to players and everything. That is the manager's job, right? Obviously, Sir Alex is welcome to see the training and anything, but every time he's come, like how should I say, like every time we see Sir Alex, it's like a godly figure for us, right? He's not just a normal human being, and every time we see him, we see a certain standard, and everything after him like has been on a drop down. Even his decision to appoint Moyes, I don't know what Scotsman thing that was going on. So I just don't want. I want to move past Sir Alex because we were always living in the history. I already told you lots of times. Chelsea have won 16 trophies in 16 years. We have not won a single trophy since 2018. And the last trophy for us was a Europa League. That's not United standard. Last trophy for Chelsea was the Champions League, right? That's where I want to be. And this is Chelsea. Let's be honest, you don't have really a history, right? 2004 was when the Russian money came in, and
Yeah,
now look at it, 16 trophies in 16 years. So I want to do that.
absolutely. I think you could tell that the days of Sir Alex and then the kind of loyalty is no more there in football. It has
No,
moved.
yeah.
It's different trend right now, which United have to follow that trend. That kind of I don't know how you see Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with his legendary status. Is that the reason why people are still holding on to him? Only on the wheels, on the wheels, managing the
I
football
think,
club with a
yeah,
legendary status, but he's not really qualified for the job.
he isn't. Like, look, whatever status he has, I actually don't consider him as a United legend. I consider him as a United cult hero. He's a cult hero for me. He's not a legend because if you're considering Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a legend, then I have never seen most of the United fans in our fan base considering Dwight York and Andy Cole as a legend because Dwight York scored the most number of goals in that treble winning season.
Right.
There is not a single song about Dwight York. There's not a single poster or a the like hangings on Old Trafford, right? So I agree that he scored the most important goal, and you can see what Gary Neville told yesterday. He was saying that I can't believe people are turning on a player who won them the Champions League. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did not won us the Champions League. He scored the most important goal. I agree that, but it was Roy Keane, it was Scholes, it was all these players, Beckham, right? So I want to move past that, and I'm sorry, I forgot your question, but basically, look, I it is this legendary status. I can agree that certain people are emotionally invested in him. They want him to succeed so badly that it's coming at the expense of our club. And look, I'll give you the perfect example. Chelsea have appointed a legend in Lampard. He's a bigger legend than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right? He's one of their best players,
Right.
right? And Roman booted him out, right? He came personally and told him that you're not good enough. You go out, please. Right? We don't have that kind of authoritativeness, that kind of mentality and that ambition to succeed. So yeah, personally, if I would love an owner like Roman, right? He only cares about winning. He does not want to make Chelsea. He does not want to make money off Chelsea, right? He wants to make them successful. And when you have an owner like that who is has set the standards, even if personally you say that Lampard should not be sacked because even if you're emotionally invested, he will sack him, and then you have to follow him. We just don't have that kind of figure in our administration.
Two more questions for you, Herbert.
Yeah, yeah.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the Glazers. Which of these people do you want to see out of the club? Ole or the Glazers?
Look, first of all, I would like to see Ole gone because even with the new owners, I don't think Ole has the tactical and the coaching experience to coach. Even if you give him Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, I don't think he can coach any sort of team. So I would like him to be gone first, right? Because what's the point if the Glazers are gone and some new Saudi manager comes in, Saudi owners come in and give Ole another 300 million, right? That makes just no sense. And obviously, we would want the Glazers to be gone forever. But look, they have spent this time. You can't say that they have bought Varane and Sancho. Maybe it's the offset of the Super League thing. That could be the case. And they didn't buy a DM, but that's the manager's responsibility. He said I was very happy with the transfer window. He has a player in Donny Van de Beek. He never uses Teles. He never uses Jadon Sancho. So I like to see Ole gone first.
That's one more question for you that makes the final two. What is the way forward for Manchester United?
Way forward, first of all, sack this manager. Find a manager who is willing to take us right now. Because I already said that we have to win now. We can't be having another 3-year project. This is not it because Ronaldo will be 40 by that time. So what's the point of bringing him in, right? And he obviously wants to be part of the Ballon d'Or conversation, which at United, with all my heart, he won't be. So get Antonio Conte or Zidane. I think that's my first two choices, and let's see what we can do. We can salvage the season because we are still in the we are still in the Champions League and the FA Cup, right? So we have to win a trophy, man, as soon as possible because our squad is filled with players who haven't won anything of substance, right? So we have lots of losers in our team, so don't know the experience of winning a trophy. So get a manager in who can win further now, or at least make us competing with good football, and let's see where we go.
So thank you very much, Herbert. Thank you for being here. Guys, this is where the discussion between Manchester United and entire Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's legendary status is gonna end us. I have a renowned uh, good friend of mine, a strong Manchester United friend. You guys heard him. He said it all. Herbert, I want to say thank you once again for coming on to the channel. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Is there anything else you want to say to Manchester United supporters that are going to be watching this video after it's been aired?
Uh, let's hope for better times, mates, because right now it is not what we expected. This season should not be about challenging for top four. It should have been about winning the Premier League. So let's just hope the Glazers do something sensible. And anyway, yeah, likewise, thanks for having me again. It's always nice to chat to you because you're obviously a Chelsea fan, but you're a football fan first. What I like the most in people. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to have you, Herbert. As you guys heard, we all here just about football. We don't just pick just one football club. I'm a Chelsea fan, but whatever goes on in Manchester United, Arsenal, it's also part of football, and I have to bring it out here. And today it was a 10 of Manchester United on my channel, for my platform, for my people that support and subscribe to the channel to also know my view and my perspective about the Manchester United issue. As you guys heard, a United fan came in and he said the way forward is we gotta win now. Premier League is what we gotta win now. Before we have to win that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have to go. And then before that, maybe new owners have to come in, which the Glazers will be next. But then if it's the first time watching Blue Clouds TV, one more time, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, share the videos, right? Keep the bell notification icon when you subscribe, and also don't forget, Blue Clouds TV brings you everything. Match preview, match review of everything that consists of Chelsea Football Club and also other football club. Watch along. Also, don't forget about it. We'll see you in the next video. Leo Desperandos. Up to Chelsea.